Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Real Ball Talk. Hope everyone is blessed and had a good weekend and doing well. What are you saying, Janelle? What are you saying?
It's coming on. It's coming on. It's coming. Football's coming up. Nah, fair. I put myself as a target early doors, Bob. I'm good, Bob. I hope you boys are good, man. Come on.
Nah, big up, man. Big up. And what are you telling me, Jeff?
All good, man. Yeah, caught the game earlier. Good game. Good start. Let's get into it, man. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, no, 100%. As always, people, smash the like button. If you're new to RBT, then make sure you subscribe to us. I think we're 12 subscribers away from 400. So we're almost there, looking to get there by the end of November. So do help us get over that line, or even better, to be honest. But big up everyone in the building as always. So yeah, man, Rash will be here shortly as well. Just finishing up some work on a Monday. But yeah, let's get into it. England 6, Iran 2 is what we're going to be talking about today. Very convincing victory for England. Saka on the score sheet with 2 goals. Jude Bellingham on his first, I think, competitive start at a major tournament at 19 years old, getting a goal too. Raheem Sterling got a goal as well, which is nice for him. First World Cup goal for Raheem. And then I think the last goal was scored by Grealish. And Rashford and Grealish came on to score. So yeah, it was a great win for England, to be honest. They conceded a couple goals, which can happen. I think when you're thrashing a team so convincingly, you can give away a couple of goals, even if the penalty at the end, if we're being honest, if that's given, then the one hurt earlier on Maguire at the start of the game, I mean, that was the Stonewall pen. But regardless of that, 6-2, great way to start the tournament. So yeah, Jalil, tell me what you thought of the game, the performance from England. Obviously, they went 4 at the back. So yeah, tell me what you've made of that.
Yeah, man, it was a good game. I was watching the whole shebang, really, man. I love a scoreline that represents my height. 6-2. Now I'm playing. I'm 6'1". I'm playing. But anyway, man, enough of the jokes, bro. Enough of the jokes. But yeah, England played well, man. England played well, and it was good. It was good to always be in group chats, seeing everyone's perspective on it and everything and that. But yeah, it was good. It seemed like every group chat was saying the same thing about the game. England were playing well. They knew it was going to be a low block game. Everyone does that against England for some reason, unless you're a big team like Germany or something along those lines. I think we saw against them, it was proper back and forth and that. But when it came to Iran, all I was saying is once you get one goal,
yeah, floodgates open.
Well, it's open. We're going to see a lot of goals. I predicted 4-1. I predicted 4-1.
Okay.
And,
I predicted 3-0.
3-0, fair enough.
I went 3-0, yeah.
I mean, I guess we weren't far off in terms of the amount
of goals.
We
weren't far off, yeah. In terms of we weren't far off.
I think we all predicted a number of goals to potentially be scored by England, but I was quite happy with it, man. I was seeing a lot of stuff. Funny thing in one of the group chats. My boy Adam goes, "If Southgate got win the World Cup with his team, he's got blood in his hands." I was criminals saying.
Bro, man said he's got to win the whole thing.
No, but he's joking. He's banter, isn't
it? Okay. And a jokey thing.
Before, everyone was getting on Southgate. Oh, I can't believe he left this guy out. I can't believe he done this. I can't believe he done that. And then when he plays well, it's that he's criminal. He doesn't go as far as possible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing about football, man. And yeah, I mean, we were cracking jokes and stuff. And someone said something about, "Oh, this is a major performance from England." And I agree, but then I just said it's Iran. And then everyone just got a bit high-rated kind of thing, oh, you should be more positive. But I'm a very positive person in regards to that, in one of my groups and that. But yeah, it was good, man. Happy for Saka to get a goal. As soon as he scored, I couldn't stop smiling. You know me, sometimes I try to hide it. I tried to close my mouth, but I couldn't do it, man. It's my boy there. Yeah, it was good. Hey, Jude Bellingham, I don't think he's 19. I'm sure he's Nigerian, but lying about his age, because you don't play like that. And you're 19, come on, do me a favour. Do you know what I mean? Do me a favour. I don't believe it personally. But he's outstanding. He's one for the future. And I think when we did the show and I came on a bit late, we said who's going to be the young player of the tournament or something along those lines. And I said Jude Bellingham, and I said that with chest because he's just amazing for what he does with Dortmund. And I say this, any team, and I think it's going to be an English team, but any team that gets Jude Bellingham is going to be laughing. Because him in midfield, we got calls up, him in midfield will be mad. You know, it'll be crazy. City, Liverpool, United, I mean, who's in the running for him? Who's going to get him? Arsenal could be phoning it. Newcastle, the money they got, because they could be a totally different team in the next 3 years with the transmission they're going through and that the money they got. So, yeah, I mean, there's lots of options. Who?
Arsenal ain't getting him. I can rule that out now.
No chance.
Yeah, we got that 4% chance, I reckon. Maybe 5% chance.
We won't put that money for him.
No.
That money. Would you say that money? How much are we talking?
I can see teams spending about 100 mil plus. I can see teams spending about 100 mil.
How much do you think his weekly wages will be at the age of 19?
Not that high. I think 200 something.
I reckon he could get 300. I think he can definitely get 300.
Depends where he goes, to be honest.
We got Rash.
We got Rash.
Yeah. No, I think depending on where he goes, I think Bellingham could definitely come on 300k a week. Given the fee that's going to come with it, he's probably naturally just going to ask, or his agent will ask for that. Because, yeah, at that stage, you're no longer 19. You're not worth 100 million. It's yeah. So I think he could command that probably.
100 mil at 19. Does anyone know how long he's got left at the Dortmund contract at all? Anyone? Top of their head?
Maybe 2 years.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, just 100 light compared to Mbappe was worth 165 mil after half a season or a season. So
yeah,
this one is light compared to that.
Yeah, no fair, but yeah, for me, Bellingham just stood out, man. He's one for the future. I think he could have had the tournament, one of the best tournaments for a youngster to have. Yeah, Sterling to get that goal as well. We've got to give it to him. It's normally when he's one-on-one with the ball, when he's running that, he seems to panic. But if you play it into him like Kane done, he's finishing that. Do you know what I mean? He's finishing it like a fat boy eating cake. He's done. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy with I'm happy with Sterling, especially with the form he come off with Chelsea. He ain't really been a part. He ain't really doing the business in that. Mount for me had a good game. Could have been better, in my opinion. I don't know about you boys, but he could have done it. It could have been better. They're Rash and Bellingham, as I said, held it down. That four, you can't really complain. Even Maguire, you couldn't really complain, really, man. Like, everyone done what they had to do. Very composed on the ball, playing it out, look short, doing the wing. Trippier. I kind of wanted to bring the Trippier thing up, really, as well, because there was a lot of stuff about, Trent should be playing, because he's better. I think that's goes without being said. But I thought Trippier played really well, in my opinion, boys. I don't know about you, but I thought Trippier played well.
Yeah, he had a decent game.
Yeah, okay. Just wanted to get a feel for it, to be fair. But other than that, boys, man, before I keep going on and on, man. England done the business, man. I'm happy with it. I'm quite happy with it. I see them top in the group. I'm still going to stay with that. And I think I'll say this: the Golden Boot winner will be from England. I'll leave it there, boys. I'll leave it there.
Hey, okay. Which is interesting, given that Harry Kane didn't score or even have a shot. So yeah, if the Golden Boot is going to come from someone in England, that today would have been a great chance for Kane to get some goals. But to be fair to him, I still feel like he played well. His link-up play was actually really good, especially the assist to Raheem. That was a great assist still. But yeah, let me get Rash's thought. Let me read out some of the comments. Bellingham coming to Arsenal. Shout out Koza after we win this league. Yeah, man. It happening. I can't lie. I don't see it happening, but
wait, John, what's the happening? You don't see England winning, you don't see Bellingham Arsenal winning, or you don't see Bellingham coming? Which one don't you believe that what his statement said there?
There's more chance Arsenal win the league than we get Bellingham.
Fair.
I'm just being real. I can see him going like either Madrid or City. I know people have said Liverpool. Again, I need to see Liverpool spend over 100 million on a player first before I believe it, but. He can pick wherever he goes. So, and if he has a great World Cup, and I think I think Rash and yourself, Jalil, both said he would be the best young player of the tournament. I think me and Jeff said Musiala. Jeff, you said Musiala, did you?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So Bellingham's off to a good start in that regards. And yeah, he had a very good game today. Big up Falak in the building saying, hello, beautiful people. Shout out to my people, John, Jalil, Jeff, and Rash. Big up Falak. And Falak, listen, I ain't forgotten because Falak messaged us on the RBT Insta and she said we should have a debate. You know, the start bench sell thing. She said we should do that between Gabriel Jesus, Richarlison, and Neymar. So I've told Falak to never send me anything like that again because that's crazy.
I big up Falak in the building, man. Hey,
Oh, man, that's funny.
Yeah, no, big up Falak every time. Yeah, I know it was on Twitter, but yeah, you still shouldn't have shared it. I can't lie. It's still disrespect.
We should do it for her. We should do it for her. We should it's going to be a quick one. I think we're all going to agree, but we should do it for her.
All right, let's just quickly do it now. Start Neymar, bench Jesus, and kick that boy Richarlison to the curb.
I agree.
I think it's I think we agree.
I think we agree.
Unanimous decision.
That was just for you, Falak. There you go.
That's for you, Falak, man. 100.
No, big up Falak. But yeah, Rash. Obviously, people smash the likes as well. Rash, your thoughts on the game, man? Obviously, Jalil spoke about Jude Bellingham. So I don't know if there was anyone else that you want to highlight. Obviously, Saka got 2 goals. And I think when it got announced that he was starting, judging by social media, there wasn't unanimous happiness. I think some people wanted Foden to start over Saka. So I don't know if you think he's now proven his point that he should be starting for England.
Yeah, 100%. I think he got man of the match as well. I think he did.
Yeah.
As well, and he played like that. He had a really good game. He was constantly being a threat to the Iranian defense, coming inside, not just going down the line, but coming inside as well for England, having good chemistry with Sterling, switching sides every now and again, and both making themselves available in the box. I think he showed good determination. He played like it was just a league match or a cup match in the a League Cup match or something like that. He looked very comfortable. I think he played very well. Again, touch on Bellingham. His control and maturity in the midfield is just amazing for someone of his age. He controlled a lot of the game, and he's got, as I think one of the commentators has, this never give up mentality as well, which you just love to see the fight in players when they're on the pitch as well, to never give up on the ball or to constantly put a defense or midfield under pressure to make them make those passes that are mistakes, basically, so that we can capitalize and go on a counter attack. I think England all round had a really good performance. I think Pickford, I think the first goal, he should have done a little bit better. Me personally, that's what I think. But they were pretty solid at the back. They didn't really look under pressure except for those opportunities that Iran had. The penalty, I believe, was a bit eagle-eye-ish. I haven't really seen much of those being brought back ever. Especially there was ones quite similar or even worse committed against England in the first half as well. Yeah. So yeah, I think England were unlucky to get that penalty given against them. But overall, it was a good performance. They controlled the game. They dominated the possession. They dominated the chances. They just didn't really look like there was going to be trouble by Iran, except for obviously the goals that Iran did score. And I think it's just it's really good because it's like a ha. England did to a lot of us, because none of us had them. Probably Jalil would have had them doing well, but none of us thought they would do well. We knew that they would beat Iran, but we just didn't think they would go at it the way that they did. And it's very good that they did. They started off making a big statement, let the teams know that they can beat, that we're not playing this game. We're going to smack you up if you come against us. If you're a good team, we're going to go hard against you. They didn't take their foot off of the gas just because they were playing Iran. They put a statement out there, and it was good to watch for once, you know. So, yeah, well done to England.
Yeah, no, well said. Well said. I think, yeah, we all had England beating Iran. But yeah, I think it was the nature of the win was very convincing, which is you can only play who's in front of you. So yeah, no, very, very good from England, as you said, Rash. And yeah, big up to Saka. He had a very convincing win. So yeah, Jeff, man, just based off following just from what Jalil and Rash have just mentioned, anything else that you wanted to highlight from England's performance today, just before we go into some player ratings?
I think for the most part, the boys covered it all. Maybe just, Pickford. I don't know, man. Like, I know it's an easy enough game, but there's just moments where you're just panicking for absolutely no reason. Like, just looking at him like, I don't understand why you feel you're under pressure here. Just play your way out of trouble. But then you kick it, you just cause uncertainty. And like, I know it's Iran, but against better opposition, that kind of panic will make your teammates panic, and then you'll go and concede a goal.
Yeah.
Like, there was a few times the ball went back to him, just that ball on the floor, and I'm just looking at it like, bro, what is going on? Like, why are you so rash with your decision? No pun intended. But just relax. So maybe like him, just again, it just heightens the thing of why are you number one to me? Like, you already have mediocre season. So why is someone else not being considered? There's Nick Pope, who's a much better goalie to me, and then there's Ramsdale, who's a better goalie. So there's two viable candidates of why you shouldn't be in the spot you're in. But yes, that's on Southgate. And then Mount's performance was actually, I talk about Mount and Trippier. So Mount's performance was decent. Overall, maybe could have got amongst the goals and maybe been a bit more of like an attacking presence than what he was. But I think it's just kind of carrying that club form where it's been a little bit subdued into the tournament. Hopefully you'll get over it and you'll get amongst the goals soon enough. But yeah, I don't think it was a bad game. I just think it was just an average game all in all. And then Trippier, I actually thought Trippier was just okay. Like, I don't think he played well. Like, Iran, don't have the most threat going forward. So this is where you can kind of stamp your authority on the ball and become a good outlet on the ball. And I don't really think he was that. Like, it's just a lot of misplaced passes or like passing to like the wrong side. Like, there's like safe side on which you can pass to. You're passing to the wrong side. It then makes the other person have to like second guess what they're doing and recover it. And like, again, I think against better opposition, like that kind of stuff is what's gonna catch teams out. So like, a game like that, like, I know Trent hasn't had the best season, but a game like that, even they can scrap Trent out. Like, Trippier's best attributes would be going forward.
And you know what it is, Jeff? I think with Trippier, I think when you watch him today, obviously playing for a team that's kind of ball dominant, Saran, is that Trippier's best attribute is definitely his crossing ability, both from set pieces and open play, and his free kicks. But his actual passing on the ball is decent, but it's nothing outstanding. It's it's just decent. So that's where today was just a confirmation that Trent is not getting any minute this tournament.
No, he won't. He's not getting Trent, close.
He ain't getting close for a minute.
I think we already knew that. Like, even if we think of how many games Trent has probably played under Southgate, it's probably not many. Like, it's probably a handful at best. I'm gonna say 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It's probably been how many games Southgate had in charge? Maybe 25, 30? I don't know. But it's definitely not much that Trent has probably played. But I just think that against better opposition, where when you are asked to be that outlet, you just need to be a little bit better on the ball. But all in all, it was a convincing win, man. England pretty much wiped the floor with Iran. It was pretty much to be expected. But you can only beat what's in front of you. So kudos, man. They destroyed them.
Yeah, no, they definitely destroyed them. I think the Trippier one, it is what it is. He's going to be the starting right back. I don't think he's England's biggest. I think we saw for Iran's first goal. We have to be honest about it, as well as he was playing beforehand. The guy spun Harry Maguire to get that opportunity to have the shot. Now, I don't know how Maguire got concussed, if it happened in that play, because, yeah, it's just, he seems to have a bad luck thing, Maguire, where every time he does something wrong for a goal, I see him on the floor straight after. And it's like, yeah, I don't know, but it's like he's always injured after he does something bad, where it's like, I don't know, but I hope he's all right, because obviously, if it's concussion protocol, then technically he shouldn't be playing the next game.
Yeah,
Like
I think
that
it's 10 games, isn't it? I mean, 10 days. 10 days.
10 days.
That Iran goalie, jeez, that one looked bad.
That was bad.
Oh,
I understand why it wasn't why he wasn't taken off for me, because it was mainly a nose injury, wasn't it? More than a head injury, than like concussion worthy.
Yeesh. Yeah, I don't even know. Like the force in which the players collided, I have no idea. like his nose, for one, his nose looks broken.
Yeah,
it looks like his tournament's over. I'm just gonna say that. Like, I don't think he should
be
play.
honest, that tournament's over as well.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, so for real, especially if they gotta have that goalkeeper in goal, it's over for them still.
Yeah, it's just over. Who knows? Right? We're gonna watch Wales and USA in a bit, so who knows? They might be just as bad, and then Iran might have a chance. Because to be fair, I've got a couple Iranian friends, and they were telling me that they didn't pick the right formation, they didn't pick the right players, so they actually usually perform better than that. So who knows? It might have just been a bad day for them at the office, even though
I think what were they? They were I don't know if they were unbeaten in 22, 21 games. I don't know, or if they had only lost maybe a 2 games or something like that in 22 games. So they are quite a strong team over the last few that they've played. But yeah, it just seemed like, I mean, they had some good players on the pitch. They just didn't have anyone who could control the game. And I think the goalkeeper that they brought on was just trash. I don't think he even made a save. I just think he was really crap. Wasn't dominating in his box. Wasn't authoritarian. Or he didn't guide the backline or tell them what to do or anything like that. He just kind of seemed like, oh, I hope no one shoots at me, kind of thing. And that's what he looked like. And they shot.
There was just a bunch of fouls after a while. That someone's gonna get injured. Like even see Harry Kane limped off, or like he's got ice. But yeah, their challenges is like, whoa, like you guys have come for blood today.
Yeah, man, 100%. But listen, we still got 7 people in the building. Smash the like. Let me read some of the comments. Big up Sahan. Hope you're good, bro. Saying prediction. Southgate's only going to beat countries under crippling sanctions going through a revolution.
What's going on today?
Sahan, what happened to your boys, man? What happened to your boys, bro? They got smoked, man. Have a word.
Called for a concussion sub. Again, it's possible. Who knows? Big up Falak saying, by the way, other than England, what other teams are you guys rooting for?
They're written for England. That's a fact. That's the funny thing about it.
No,
come on,
I'm not. Why would I?
I am.
No, you can.
I'm just here to have a good time, man. I just want to be entertained, man. I don't want to have that sort of pressure put on me. You know what I'm saying? By supporting anyone.
I'm rooting for Ghana, but I just know it's not going to go well. Like the team is not good enough, so I'm rooting for them. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be supporting, but realism kicks in, and we're going to get dumped out pretty quickly.
I want England to do well. I want them to do well. I always want them to do well. I just think Brazil are going to win.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, what do we make, just quickly, about the fact, again, maybe we're being picky, etc., about the fact that, the headlines, it's got Jack Grealish's face all over it. When he came on with like 15 minutes to go, I think, got the 6th goal. And obviously, I'm being honest, even if though Saka got the 2 goals, so I would have been very happy for Saka to like be the main face. But in reality, usually in cases like this, it should be Jude Bellingham. I mean, we're talking 19 years old. If you want to make him the face of like the leading face of it, given he got the opening goal too. But the fact is Grealish, I mean,
John, look, in regards to that, I'm giving it a blight as to the only article I've seen is Daily Mail, and they constantly failing. I don't give a damn. I wasn't
Yes.
expecting them to. I wasn't expecting them to do the right thing. So let's just see what tomorrow papers are going to bring for the other more credible news media sources, because we know what it is. We all know what it is. It's not a thing about us being fussy anymore. This shouldn't be happening. You know, you're over there screaming about people's civil rights over in Qatar and all these things like that, and you really got some serious issues still at home, which we see on a day-to-day basis, constant biases and stuff like that. So what's that? See, Jalil's got another one, a different one, right?
BBC Sports.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm just gonna say, I think to a degree it happens on purpose too, because you're gonna click on it, and that's what you're after, clicks. So at the same time, where there's definitely what Rash is saying, there's definitely a bias to what it is. I even see that there was a breakdown of Grealish's celebrations. Like, raw, this is wild. I just saw it before we came on. It was like, oh yeah, he did. There was he did this celebration because of a specific fan and all this kind of stuff.
Oh wow, okay.
But it's just like, at the same time, I think it's the bias, and I also think it's just for clicks, because that's the era we're in. Like, everything's for clicks.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the blade, man. I agree. I already knew what it was going to be, but I did highlight it to a few groups. I did post it. It was me posting it around in a few different groups. I'm sure other people posted it in your groups as well, your separate groups as well. But yeah, sometimes it is laughable, man, because England would have won 1-0 today, and they would, Harry Kane would have scored. They would have put like Harry Kane. They would have had a picture of Sterling with a gun tattoo on his leg or something, or Saka wearing a Nigerian top, saying he's actually Nigerian. So they go that deep for these kind of effects, but I'm a bit over the top here, but you kind of get what I'm trying to say here. If something goes wrong, they will paint that picture. But yeah, as Rashid just said, we already know what time it is, but when it comes to this kind of shit, bro. But all in all, I looked at the Arsenal articles and that they had Saka. He got the man of the match and that. They got my brother there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know the mad thing is though, Jay. A lot is that if it was Saka missing the pen or something like that, he would be on the front cover.
That's what happened. That's what happened in the World Cup.
You might say Nigerian.
If he got sent off, he'd be on the front cover.
You might say Nigerian Saka. Nigerian Saka misses penalty for England.
Immigration questions Saka's right to live in England.
I know it's even like tennis. Remember, I think Andy Murray done something there, and obviously earlier in the tournament he said English Andy Murray, and then or he said British Andy Murray, something like that. And then when he did something bad, Scotland's Andy Murray. I said these guys are dangerous.
Yeah. They don't play.
No,
don't give a damn.
We do a group chat today. I think someone was like, "Oh, it's coming home," and I said something about Iran, and then someone said, "Didn't Nigeria lose? Didn't Nigeria draw 0-0?" And I was like, "Nigeria don't win the fucking World Cup." Okay, I'm like, "What's that got to do? I'm English. What's that got to do with anything?" And they were like, "Oh, but you're Nigerian and everything." I'm like, "But I'm supporting England, man. Like, I want England to win." Oh, but how you say like? I'm just like, what the fuck? We do it to ourselves too.
I saw a tweet that come out that says, I'm still at work. I'm still at work, and it's 0-0 waiting for an Englishman to score.
Nah, I can't. Like, I was crying. That was funny.
That was funny.
Actually funny
and extremely necessary. I don't give a shit. That was
Grealish is Irish, apparently. Is that true?
Yeah.
But think about it. How many people are really English?
Hey, we're getting deep there, Jeff. You know,
Maguire.
I'm just saying, I'm not even going to like the history. I'm just talking about the team currently.
What was that guy who was king when the Vikings came? What's his name?
Hey, you might as well cancel us now. We've gone too deep.
No, but yeah, you know what it is, man. This headline's gonna be repetitive every game.
Yeah, 100. Shout out to Jill Stock doing the most as well. You know,
oh, okay.
Kind of put on me.
She's doing good.
Wait, what? I know. I'll ask later.
Not Jill Scott. Is it Alex? Alex. Is it Alex? Is it? Shout out to Alex. For Jill Scott, the singer, coming in and doing something. World Cup R&B version. No. Alex Scott. Shout
Yeah.
out to you, doing the most.
Oh, the armband. All right.
That whole PR nonsense.
Man, you need
Wait,
to
what?
mind
What?
your.
What? What
She
happened?
needs
What
to
happened?
mind her business, bro.
Because Kane didn't wear the armband,
But
the rainbow
thing,
armband, and she wore it, right?
She needs to mind her business. Stay out of
I think we could
politics.
talk. I think we can talk about this, boy, because I work for an organization that talks about diversity and inclusion, and we had a conversation today where they're saying, if you go, it's like coming to my house. You must come to my house. I expect you to take your shoes off, right?
Mm.
But the question is, do you have the right to tell me, like in my gaff? This is just putting it out there.
You can't tell nobody what to do in their own house.
I might pick my nose and then wipe on the table, just before I eat my dinner every
I'll be
single
like,
time.
well, Janelle's got bad habits in his house.
He picked his nose and wiped it on the table.
Dirty
That's
guy.
nuts.
I like that because don't you think that's the same way? If Harry Kane wears the One Love thing, he's trying to say you lot should be more open to what people go through.
Harry Kane wearing that in Qatar is like coming into your house and saying, "Yo, Jalil, make sure you use a tissue next time. I don't want to see you wiping your burgers on the table."
Yeah,
He didn't do it, I guess. No.
Yeah, he didn't do it. He didn't do it.
It's just a hard that I understand that you may disagree with because we're westernized or whatnot, but you cannot go somewhere and tell them they're wrong for their rules. Same way, like, oh yeah, there's no Budweiser in the stadium or whatever. I know we're here, it's culture, like you drink. It's not culture over there. Accept it. Don't go if you don't want to go. Watch it from home.
Yeah.
And you know, sorry, go on, Joe.
No, you can go. You go.
I was gonna say I saw a really good interview actually with one of the I believe one of the leaders over there in Qatar, and he was on TV being questioned about this issue here, and he was asked about is it okay for homosexuals to display open homosexuality in your country, and he was saying, I don't understand this question. It's not okay for heterosexuals to show open displays in our country. We are a modest society. We don't accept open displays of affection in public. We don't, male, female, it doesn't matter. So we don't have no rule saying gays cannot show your public display. No, it's people cannot. They don't ever go into people's personal lives and say, by the way, who are you showing these affections to? Because we want to know so that we can do something to you. No, whatever you do in your privacy of your home, that is for you to do in the privacy of your own home, and it's private, therefore we won't get involved. But when it's in the public, we don't accept any of it. We're a modest society. We don't do these sort of things in public. Our women dress modest, our men act modest. That's just what it is. We're a modest nation, accept our modesty or not. And to me, like, there's no better way to explain the rulings of that in that subject better than any other way. They're not saying look, we're anti-gay, even though they do have it in their laws and legislations that I think homosexuality is not something that is allowed unless you're openly doing it. I guess no one will know, you know. And I think everyone's sexual private life should be private. You shouldn't be discussing what goes on in your bedroom anyway with anybody, straight, gay, whatever, you know what I mean? So as Jeff said, you go to someone's place, you respect their rules, you're in their yards, you know what I'm trying to say, and that's what you do. Jay, is something that you probably discuss because of the nature of the work you're in, but one of the things that is commonly said to foreigners when you come in, you got to respect the British culture. It may not be a right for you to do this or a right for you to do that over there, but when you're here, you respect the culture. You don't bring that here. You have to adapt, and that's just it. And then whatever of your culture fits in our culture, we will accept. That is our stance on foreigners coming in. How dare you ask for it to be something totally different for yourself? You know what I mean?
Like the last thing, because I saw a few videos and stuff of the culture there, and like everybody was having a good time. I've seen no negative reports. I've got a few friends out there as well, work colleagues and that. I'm seeing people get lost and stuff, and they're taken in by these millionaires and stuff, seeing lions and stuff. I'm like, wow, take me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got. So that's why. If it was one of these countries where it was like you hear a lot of negativity stuff and stuff, then you could be like, oh yeah, I'm going there to make a change. I'm gonna do this and make a change, kind of thing. But when you got that kind of culture there where everything's peaceful, they don't want anything negative. You see in the stands, there was an argument. I don't know if you saw that that someone was yesterday's game. Someone was celebrating and they were telling them to keep it down. And then after they sat down, had a chat, and it was very peaceful. Normally in a game here, it would be a scuffle or going at it. They ended it peacefully. So I understand where they're coming from, especially with Harry Kane wearing the armband. They thought it was more of a headache to wear the armband because FIFA said we're going to charge you. FA said we'll pay for it. Get the message out there. But then I think they had a discussion as a board and a team and said, listen, it's more headache, man. Like the boy said, you come into the house because nobody can come into my gaff and tell me what's going on. Do you know what I'm saying? So I understand how they think. I would hear you out, but you can't. It's not going to run. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So that's kind of where they're at. So yeah, just saying.
What do you think about BBC not showing the opening ceremony as well? I thought that was quite disrespectful, man. That was really wrong because it was a really good ceremony opener.
You know what it is? Like, I'll just say this.
Sorry, just etiquette-wise and message-wise, I think that was probably one of the best World Cup openers I've ever seen.
Yeah. You know what it is? Like, I'll just say this, like, on it. It just seems, well, there's obviously narratives are pushed. So, like, months before this even happened, there was all kinds of narratives about the nature of the land you're going into, blah, 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 blah. And then I even saw something, like, I think it was yesterday, like, I don't understand what this guy was thinking, but I think he burnt £10,000 because Beckham is on the committee for the Qatar World Cup. And he's like, oh, yeah, you shouldn't be on the committee. So he burnt £10,000. One, that's illegal. You can't burn money or shred money, especially not publicly. Like, you're not, I don't understand what you thought that. I think that there's a problem. Achieve. Yeah, there's a problem with like social media justice warriors. Like, yeah, you really want to prove like you're on this political side, but then for really being honest, you only really you're biased to one side. You don't have to get completely into it, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's one-sided political views. Like, you're not really rounded. So if you're not, just shut up respectfully and stay away from it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. I mean. Sorry, John. I know you've been trying to get in.
I'll go after. I want to add to what Vash said.
Yeah, I just also remember. Look, we've had World Cups in Russia, I believe, China, and South Africa, and all these other places. All of these places have issues, according to the West, human rights issues. Okay, but they didn't do that. They allowed them to do their opener, show their culture, welcome all the rest of the countries into their nation for the World Cup, and have great ceremonies. If you look at England's current enemy on their doorstep today, it's not Qatar, it's Russia. Okay, and they had a great ceremony in Russia with all the controversy that was going on in that tournament as well. Yeah, China as well. I mean, there was untold human rights issues that was going on in that period of time and still is right now. Okay, but I think we're just very selective, and for the BBC to take an unneutral stance, which is very unlike them because they're actually supposed to be neutral. They're the neutral guys. So for them to take such a harsh stance as well, without even explaining all the facts behind it or even taking in the, I wouldn't even say whatabouts, because these are clear facts and things. They didn't do this to Russia. They didn't do this to China, And if you look at the investment that Qatar has within our country as well, and in some of the things that no one has any idea of, you go boycott all those things that Qatar invest in. Don't go Heathrow no more. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, don't go Sainsbury's. Don't go on the online marketing trading services in the UK. Don't go Asda's. Don't go to all these places, because these are all places where Qatar have big investments in or actually own themselves as well. I just think we got to be like, don't be sometimish, bro. Carry justice everywhere you go, even if it's against yourself.
100%. And I'm just going to read out some of the comments before I just say my piece, and then Jalil ends it up on this. Lewis said, it's a shame. I big up Lewis, because it felt like the media had turned a bit of a corner with Sterling early Euro 2020, post the Chelsea City incident and Wembley story, but obviously penalty shootout flipped back. Yeah, I don't think it ever left, to be honest. Julius not supposed to do that at home, or
so you should see what he does do.
Yeah. So apparently Bernie donated to some LGBTQ society. Or the clarification, felt like the Eurovision was held in Israel, I think, and no one bat an eyelid with the horrors that Israel has committed. Now we obviously know what that is. London is basically owned by Qatar, by the way. The majority of buildings within London are Qatari. And I think that's what Rash was saying. And I think, yeah, just to follow up, I think what Rash said earlier, I think there's a lot of hypocrisy, obviously, in the coverage. Them not showing the World Cup ceremony, I think, is embarrassing. I don't think that's ever happened before. I think the World Cup ceremony is a standard thing you have to show. And I remember I was watching BBC waiting for the game thinking, Raw, no ceremony. This is weird. And then I realized the videos on social media were coming up, and I was like, yeah, this is mad. And you had Gary Lineker and all of them doing their nonsense on BBC, which obviously they've been paid to do. But it's like you said about the embracing the British culture when we come here. We've all been at work. Sometimes maybe we're not the biggest fans of work drinks, especially Rash in your case. You can't have work drinks because obviously you're Muslim and you don't drink anyway. But for them, it's still not a problem for them to invite us to those. For them, it's still not a problem for them making us feel bad for not going to those type of socials. For them, it's not bad to invite us to socials sometimes where they know that the food is not halal, but they still wouldn't take that into consideration. They will still expect everybody to come. And you just thought, well, this is our culture, so you kind of have to it or you don't. And whilst in Qatar, obviously, with the LGBT rights, like you said, Rash, there's the rules against homosexuality. I think the way that he described it, that generally across their society, any form of affection between any two humans, regardless of whether you're heterosexual or homosexual, I think is a great way of putting that across. And it's showing that, you know, as a society, the way we approach things is generally different. We don't drink in matches. That's not that, and that should be kind of like, I mean, so I just think it just feels like they wanted to complain about everything regardless.
Pretty much.
The whole, even today, the only thing that lifted up that England game before was Michael Richards when he said, I'm actually buzzing to be here. He actually brought some time into it because Gary Lineker, Shearer and Ferdinand, you literally thought they were at a funeral before the
No, seriously, and I think it's really bad, the mood that they're setting and the tone that they're setting as well. I mean, even the commentary from Genius today was so negative. I couldn't stand it. I don't ever want to hear that guy again.
Genius, what did he? Is it too bad to say? Or
it's not too bad to say. It was just very negative. I mean, for his commentary about how the officials are conducting, the way that FIFA are controlling things as well in regards to the entrances of getting into the stadium. The player coming off, the player should have came off with a head injury. The Iran goalkeeper, I mean, he kept on going back onto it and going on like such poorly decisions, and it's not their decisions to make it. They should be on top of this, and you know, just nitpicking. And I just thought to myself, bro, just commentate, bro. Do you know what I mean? Someone's got the ball. Mention the person's name who's got the ball and say what they are doing. I don't want to hear no more about your opinions, brother, about this event. I just want you to do your job, which is commentate on the game that we're playing. I don't care about what your views are to this thing.
It's like when last year, obviously, the Euros were here. There were all kinds of things going on in the finals. People were breaking in for free in that, but obviously it was touched on, but it's not to this degree. Like, it just does, like, it's not a 6-month build-up, because before this World Cup started, there were all kinds of things being put out by the media on like, do you know where you're going, kind of thing. It's like, first of all, there's human rights issues across the whole world. It's not just in one country. There's human rights issues here
and here.
So
the rule that they made about immigrants going to Rwanda is actually against the law, according to immigration law.
Exactly. So it's just selective social media justice warriors. I don't like it, but it's going to keep going on. It's not going to stop.
And you know what? And the thing is, sorry, Jalil, I was just going to say the last thing is, I feel like England is a place that loves empty gestures. And I think we've said this before. Remember when the thing happened, we started in the war in Russia and Ukraine. And one of the things that England did was like reword the chicken Kiev in like relation to like Ukraine as like a gesture of goodwill. And it's like, you think the people of Ukraine who are in the war care about the fact you changed the name of a chicken or something?
What?
No, honestly, I thought it was a joke. They actually did it.
So what do you mean? It's called Kiev chicken now, son. What do you mean?
They did something to the spelling of how it was spelled at the time to link it to Ukraine, to basically say we're here with you.
Oh, come on.
Check it actually happened.
I hope that didn't happen.
So to me, like I said, England, the kings of empty gestures. Even the one band thing, like the One Love armband. What's that gonna do?
If you're like, this is the thing, like, there's this big public display, but what's happening behind the scenes? Are you implementing any rules? Like, there's a whole let's kick racism out of football thing, and it's been there for 20 plus years, but there's still all kinds of instances that happen every season, and there's no real reprimand for it. So what is the representation of this? Like, you're showing us one thing, but really, what are you doing to change anything? That's kind of the question.
The question is as well, is that, I know this is kind of like maybe even deeper now, but what is it that politically you want as well? I mean, it can't be that you have rights because you have rights, and it's not like people are going around like gay bashing or trans bashing or anything like that. That's not happening on the streets. That's not something that, oh my gosh, there's another transsexual or homosexual got his ass kicked today on the news. It's not like that. I'm not saying it's not happening, but it's not like that where it's something where these group of people need to defend themselves. Like, they've got more rights than the majority of people. No one don't really kick the ass. Matter of fact, everyone is very accepting of them, and to you your way, me my way kind of attitude towards it, and not really oppressive. So what is the political move? What are you asking? Like, because it's gone from I want to be considered a human to I want to be able to do this freely to I don't just want you to know about it no more. Join our side, and that seems to be the push now. Join our side, and it's in more than way than one. Give your children the choice to choose whatever they want to do, even though they can't go and buy alcohol and cigarettes, but give them this choice, and implement this in your dialogue, and implement this in your community and your society and stuff. And I'm just like, I mean, there's still fights that's been fighting for years that's nowhere near its completion to where its objective goal is, and they are not even considered a lot of time, let alone looked over for this cause in particular. So my whole thing is, I don't understand what more is actually wanted. Is it because you want every other country to be happy with it? Look, I'll be honest with you, doing the research, like this sort of thing, it's a European America issue. It's not really an African and an Eastern issue in Asia and stuff like that. So I understand society saying, well, there's no reason for us to make rulings of it because it's not really rife in our society. It's not something that we even have to accommodate a lot of the times. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's not in our culture. But I'd understand if it was rife in Qatar, so many homosexuals, and they're being oppressed for what they are going through and stuff like that, and they need someone to voice their freedoms, then fair enough. But there's no one in Qatar saying, hey, fight for my rights, brother. I'm gay here, and they're not letting me be gay. Why are you pushing this so hard? I just don't understand.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think just going back to the armband thing, just before I go on to say what I want to say is, I think it was because you can't. I understand what you got saying, but I think it's to say we stand with you. It's not like we're trying to push it. It's just to say, you're in that country, you're in England, we stand with you, kind of thing, for the one love thing. That's what they said on the thing. But I think Qatar still didn't want it, and that's fair. If whatever they want, they don't want. There's no argument. We've established that. But I want to say this. If all this talk about corruption and Qatar's going to be a shit World Cup, this is going to be a sick World Cup. Have you seen who's at the World Cup this year? All this BS about, so Qatar's halfway through, and then it's going to be Christmas. Man, shut the fuck up, man. This is the World Cup. I don't want to hear that shit no more. Is there a number of teams in the World Cup? Are people playing competitively? Is there going to be a winner? It might be Brazil. It might be coming home, son. It might be going to West Africa. We don't fucking know. What we do know is this is a World Cup. And everyone who's saying all this jazz, because it's in Qatar, it's a negative thing. Bruv, we still see football. So what are we complaining about? That's what to the end of it, man. That's what I was to the end.
I'm glad that you ended it there because, obviously, if people want to go back to how Qatar originally won it with the whole corruption thing,
I don't believe it.
Bring it up then and fine. But now we are here and the football started. Let's focus on the football. The thing about it's in winter, it's usually in the summer. Okay, so basically what you're telling me is you never want there to be a World Cup in any place that's super hot during the summer because that's the reason it's not in the summer. Because in Qatar, it's usually about 45 degrees. So you put the players' health at risk. So you're basically telling me any super hot country in the summer, they should never host a tournament. Just because of your convenience, you prefer it to be during the summer so you can go out with the lads at the pub.
Do you know what's crazy as well, but is that apparently in the opening game, Qatar versus Ecuador. It was Ecuador, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That game, people left because it was too cold because the air conditioning. They've got that stuff sorted out to a T,
bro.
but they left because it was too cold.
So,
And
what's-
again,
so how can you keep everyone happy? I don't understand what's going on here.
Come on, can't keep everyone happy.
You can't, and nor should you try to. It's just it's pointless. Like even like the alcohol thing. I drink. Like I'm a drinker, but but bro, why is that outrage because you can't drink in the stadium or whatnot? If you can't drink water, bro, what's your problem?
it's for 3 hours. Get lit before the game.
You know the thing is as well. It's funny,
why is
Jeff.
alcohol
Yeah?
so prevalent in like? I'm a drinker. I drink, but why is it so important to you that you must drink in a country where they don't allow it?
Jeff, do you know what the funny thing is, bro? Like, okay, I know a lot of Islamic countries, yeah, the rules are harsh, yeah, and it's because they deal with prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than the cure. What happens every World Cup or every Euros? Bunch of English guys go around and smash up the place because they've had a bit too much to drink. Yeah, you don't want a place like Qatar gets smashed out. That place is beautiful,
exactly.
you know.
I'm glad you said prevention is better than cure. I'm actually glad you said, because if so let's just say they allowed that and they went against their own moral code and a bunch of lads went out there would be an outrage, because if someone was to then get hurt or thrown in jail or killed, then it'll be like, oh no, that's really wrong. No, they went against their own moral code to allow you to drink for the tourists, and now you're actually affected their country. Now, if something really bad was to happen, it'll be like, oh, I can't believe this happened.
Bro, Jeff, do you know what's crazy? Yeah, in some countries, especially over there as well, attacking the soldiers, because they don't have policemen, they have kind of like soldiers. Yeah, you touch their soldiers, it's like you're touching the royal family, you're touching the government. You get dealt with like you've assaulted an official. Well, they're not ready for that sort of penalty to deal with if they're too drunk and they end up, get off me, punch one of the feds in their face, and then now they're on a life sentence or have to pay the ultimate penalty. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like they don't want none of that, and they're saying, look, they want it. They can't. Qatar saying they can't handle all of that. So
do you know what's funny? Do you know what's funny? I big up Falak in the building. Do you know what's funny? Yeah, there was something I saw before about there was a tournament coming. I think it was a World Cup Euros or something, and it was in the country. It was a wife and her husband and at their shop where they serve food and stuff. Like, I can't wait for the fans to come. I think it was like England fans. England fans are coming. They like to drink. We'll give them drink. 2 weeks later, they show the shop smashed up. Let me finish, man. I gotta land. Said that's up. Oh, I can't believe they did this to us. We give them hospitality and stuff like that. Mom, you give them drinks.
You gave them drink.
Give them man drink. Yeah, listen. There's no hospitality more.
Yeah. And I tell you, like back in my jahiliya, in my days of ignorance, I went to the odd club and pub and all those things, and during a football tournament. And I tell you what, those English guys, they'll buy you a drink. They'll buy everybody a drink. Everyone's getting drunk. You get me? If you want your shop not to get smashed up, don't allow that, because these men will make sure that everyone's got a drink. Everybody.
Yeah, man. 100%. To be honest, man. Well, I think everyone spoke really well on that, and it's good that we spoke on it. It was needed, and I think obviously just to clarify, obviously just in case for anybody watching, we're not saying that we back any of the corruption stuff. We're not saying that the issue with the migrant workers, and in terms of all the lack of health regulations in terms of on the construction sites, or the rules against LGBTQ are right. We're not saying none of that. We are just giving our perspective on all the other little things that everyone, especially in the English media, seem to be complaining about, which I think stems from a little bit of anger from the fact that England lost the World Cup bid to Qatar in 2021. So they are now thinking we should have had this tournament, and instead they have it. And obviously adding the fact that it's a Muslim country as well.
Also a lot of moral superiority being showed here.
Yeah.
A lot
of moral superiority is being showed here, like
people who have no morals.
We are the moral superior. Yeah, we are the superior. But in reality, let's not get back into it. But in reality, we just know that's not the case, isn't it?
100%. Big up Jenny B in the building. At Rash, hope you're good, Jenny. saying they'll buy you a drink until the black guy misses a penalty. Well,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But yeah, man, let's wrap it up on player ratings before we wrap it up. Actually, before we wrap it up, just does anyone have any quick words on Qatar yesterday and how they did against Ecuador, or do we just want to?
I thought they done well to make sure that first goal didn't happen. I'm joking. Hey, you got to put it
So it's like, no. We said the first goal will go in after the 17th minute. Bring that back, run that back.
You know, it's funny. I've seen it so much. We went to ball yesterday, and a lot of people said it's definitely going to be 1-0 to Qatar. They're gonna find a way. As soon as the first goal they got, I was like, yeah, but maybe they were right. But then obviously, I just find it so funny. I was texting everyone, what the fuck's going on here? Like, you know what I mean? But
Yes, I was like, no, there's some corruption being done here because that looks man at first.
Yeah, it looked crazy. Oh yeah, salute to Lewis's comment as well. He said it's good to hear you lot talk about these issues and provide alternative discussion. Yeah, salute to you, my dog.
Yeah,
we do, man.
You know, we always keep it real here. This is discussion of the group chat, my
voice of the group chats, Lewis, man. Voice of the group chats. This is what we say in the group chats. We'll say it here. We have the conversation. You got to get involved as well, man. Let's have it.
100%. Keep talking about until we get banned.
Don't worry. Change name. Change clothes. Change name. Change clothes. Change name.
Let's get into the things. Jalil, what would you give Pickford?
Pickford. We won. He conceded 2-0. He can hold a 6, man.
No,
it was average for me, but
I disagree. Sorry. And the reason why I disagree, I'm sorry, yeah. Jeff commented already on it, is that he panics on the ball. There was a few extra touches that he took that he didn't need to as well. When the ball was coming across the face of the goal, Stones didn't want it. Why are you moving in his direction for? You're still moving in his direction, making the guy come towards you. Now you're going to have to hoof it up because you don't want to make early decisions. 2, you conceded 2 goals in the game. One of them, I think you could have done better. When we, Arsenal, are playing games and we win and we don't concede and Ramsdale don't have a lot to do, we will give him a 6. He hasn't conceded. We'll give him a 6 for keeping a clean sheet. This guy conceded 2 goals and he's still a bit iffy. Don't know why he's starting. I think 6 is too nice.
Well, so what are you saying? Are we going 5? Are we going 5 for standard? I mean,
I believe at maximum he's had an average performance, yeah.
Right, okay.
I'm mad at that.
Sorry for having to interject like that, but no, he cannot get that.
He was not having it, boy. You were ready to fight that corner.
I thought he was right because what I saw from him is kind of what I expected. He's not a ball playing, like, he's not like Ramsdale. He's not like your ball playing goalkeepers who likes the ball with them. And when someone comes up and they can quickly pass it and get it back, they want it back. I expect that from him. So he kind of.
I understand, but me personally, I didn't expect Imran to score a goal against England, and because he did too.
Oh shit! Say nothing.
Yeah, he raises a point, no?
Yeah, he does. He didn't. I don't think I did. I think I did 4-1 just because of it could happen, penalty or something, which happened. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
100%. All right, Jeff. Trippier, right back. And smack.
Go over 6. You could say that it was. He didn't make any mistakes. Just slightly above average performance. Just the things I think I highlighted it just for more of a better opposition, but it doesn't change that it was just an average performance, that kind of thing. So 6.
Yeah, I'd go over 6 too. I'm happy with that with Trippier. Rash, John Stones.
John Stones had a pretty steady game. There was nothing fantastic about his game though. I just think it was pretty steady. I'd give him a 6 as well.
Yep. Yeah, happy with that. I'll go Harry Maguire. I actually thought he was probably a 7 or mistake. But I actually thought he was playing well, dangerous from set pieces. But the guy standing behind him for that goal, you got to be marked down 1 for that.
Yeah.
I'll give him 6. I can't lie. I want to give him. Well, he got stuff like it.
6.5. No.
I don't like half. 6.
John, you got to give him 1. You got to give him 1 more for the action for faking injury. Oh, I was injured. That's why he turned me.
my old hockey injury from 5 years ago. Oh, playing up again. Got to get off.
You know what? He's had a tough time. Give him a 7, man. Go on.
Yeah, well done, man. Well done.
Yeah.
Right.
Who?
Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw. Yeah, Luke Shaw for me can get a 7. I think he got an assist. No, he was very attacking. He's doing the whole. He was doing the back and forth for me, boys. I mean, I know a lot of people are not his biggest fans. It was sending group chats and stuff, and we'll having Discord and stuff. And but I thought he had a good game, man. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 7 for me. Yeah.
Okay, 7 for Luke Shaw. Jeff, Declan Rice.
Again, probably about 6 or 7. Like maybe I'll go 7. Like, again, you kind of interrupted in your game. Like there weren't any onslaught. Like, you just had to be comfortable on the ball. So you know what? Me, I do halves. I'll say 6.5. You're just normal again.
Okay, 6.5 for Declan Rice. Rash, Jude Bellingham.
Jude, what a game.
See, everyone smiled. So as he said, Jude Bellingham,
do you know what it is? I'm trying to think why I should mark him down. Like, do you know the one there? I'm trying to think why you should.
Can't be.
Like, it's his first goal internationally. What a time to score it as well. Opening game in the World Cup. Has a great dominating, controlling performance as well. He's 19 years old. I think he was the youngest youth on the pitch. Bruv, I would have given him a 10, but I'm going to give him a 9 because he didn't score a hat trick.
Hey, he deserves a 10, bro. He deserves a 10.
But he didn't. He scored 1. That's the only. He scored 1.
But it's not. Goals and assists isn't the only measurement of how well you play.
It's not his. And to me, if he played crap and got a goal, he would have got 6.5. But he played excellent and got a goal.
He was flawless.
Okay, you're right.
I know it's Iran and it's not the best of competition, but just the way he played, and just to say this, he's done this against the best opposition. He's done this against the Man Cities, like where he's been flawless. Like he deserves a 10.
It's true. Do you know what? And so far after the game, the only player who is being spoken about is Jude Bellingham in all of my group chats. The voice of the group chat is speaking. Bellingham is the guy. So yeah, you're right, Jeff. Like I was trying to not get too excited by giving him a 10, but you're right. He didn't do a mistake at all, and when you think he did make a mistake, he didn't. That tackle was fantastic. Ended up leading to our goal. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's okay. I'm cool with a 10 if everyone's on board. John, you look like you was with me at a 9 though.
I was with you at a 9.
So I was with, and
I just think 10 is perfection. 10 is. Now, if I'm being slightly critical, I think before he scored, he looked a little bit nervous, which I could understand. First proper start for England, like he had a couple loose touches on the edge of the box, which he recovered well. And after his goal, then he became seamless. You saw his all-around ability that he has. But I just think 9. I think it's fair, but if we want to give him a 10,
no, I'm down. I think it's 3-1 still.
Yeah,
9.
There's only me. Yeah, I really said 10. So yeah,
okay.
9 is fine. It's still great.
Yeah, Jude is still fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Big up Sahan saying I got a dip. Well, big up the mandem. Big up RBT. Big up Sahan always, bro. See our football guy. Come on.
Yeah, when are you coming on the show? When are you coming on the show, man? Get Sahan.
Yeah, you on the show, bro. Man, it's the show, 100%. But yeah, so Rash did Jude. So who's next? I got Mason Mount. 6. Just played.
Yeah.
It was
right. But yeah, I think you should start moving forward. We'll see. That would be an interesting dynamic to assess. But he did a job today. He made some good runs. Some good pictures of play. He's a good footballer. He's got good attributes, but he just does nothing standing.
The thing is, it's mad because you want to see someone like Maddison on the pitch over someone like him.
Maddison went out today.
But where would you put Maddison? Would you put him in the same position when Mount is playing? I don't know.
I think so.
But does that work with Jude?
I think Jude is a more he's a central midfielder, like the old word. He can do both. So I think you could play a Maddison. Like the Mount and Maddison argument is always going to exist. Like to be like Maddison might be what you consider a little bit better technically, but Mount just has different intangibles too. So I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Maddison try a game and then we see.
Yeah. I mean, Maddison's got to get fit first. So by the time he gets fit, it might even be too late. I doubt.
Oh, what, that little knock ended up being an injury?
Yeah. He was actually injured. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. So now it's back to Jalil. So Jalil, you get Saka.
Should have left them on to get a hattie because God knows he would have got a hattie, bro. God knows he would have got a hattie. Come on, man. They don't want him. They're like, did you see that? They're trying to pass the buck. When you got work at you, you've got some work to do at work, but you don't want to do it. It's too difficult. You've got to do all these formulas and that. Hey, Rash, I beg you deal with this for me, please. That's what I mean. That was kind of like, hey, Bob, help me. At least, okay, you're not gonna. Okay, cool. You don't want to go do it. At least help me. Help me do this. See what I'm saying? He had them in his pocket, Bob. A couple of them. I think they started off with a 4 and then went up to a 5 at the back, didn't they? That's because of the amount he was causing trouble. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to do it, boys. I'm gonna have to give him a 9, man. I know you boys probably thinking 8, 7, but
who?
Man, with that,
Wait,
what? That's not directed at you, man. Do you get what I'm saying? It could be to the audience. How do you know it's at you? Wait, what do you think of it? No, I'm playing. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, we got my guy Saka because after the World Cup missing the pen and that, I think this is probably your next big tournament, I think. And then you've got all eyes on you, and all the papers are going to be writing about you. Well, all the papers should be writing about you after everything you went through. I heard that USA is all over Wales, by the way. I can see Jeff's face. I know what's going in. So
there's a bunch of wild tackles, man. But yeah, sorry, continue.
No, you're good, bro. So with all that, you should be talking about Zach after everything he's been through. You should be wanting to big him up. The fact that he hasn't been in any papers other than Arsenal, what I've been reading, it's a bit of a shame. So I thought I'd throw that out. But big up the guy. For me, he was 9 between him and Jude for man of the match. If I was going to give it to someone, I'll probably give it to Jude because he's younger and he's probably got more of an important role to play. But Saka, come on, got 2 goals. Come on, man. Hold that 9.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. It would have been nice to see him stay on because, you know what I'm saying, World Cup hat-tricks, regardless of who you're playing against, are rare. But at the same time, he got to rest. So I guess for England for the next game, who is England's next game? Is USA?
Yeah, on Friday at 7 o'clock, I will be in Amsterdam watching that. So I'm excited. Netherlands is playing during the day. So that's why me and my boys are going now for that one. And
Not to use.
What's wrong with that?
Stay in the yard with them dirty man. Them.
I'm down for business, not pleasure.
So it's a live broadcast, you know.
I've got family. I'm seeing family. They're watching now, so I'm seeing family and dad, so they can't wait to see me. So that's exciting. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching the games there. So I can't wait for the Netherlands one. I'm going pub. Gonna see how they get down. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, big up, man, big up. Jeff, Harry Kane.
For Kane was probably an 8. No, he didn't shoot. He didn't shoot, but I think he played really well. That link up was good, just good number 9 play. The ball comes into you, know when to set, know when to hold off your man. Couple of assists. I think he played well, man. So 8 for Kane, I'd give.
Yeah, I think he had a really good game. And Rash, last but not least, Raheem the Dream Sterling.
Jeez.
So this was, I think this was an alright performance for him. I was kind of shocked that he actually started, and he made sure that he wasn't added to the squad for no reason. He put in his work. He was switching side. He was really good with his dribbling. sometimes we forget how good Sterling is because obviously Chelsea he hasn't been really performing as well as we know him to. But he turned it on a couple of times in the game. I say he played great, very well. I'll give him an 8.
Yeah. I'm not, man. I'm not that. He looked sharp, cheeky nutmeg.
Yeah.
He looked much more freer than he has been at Chelsea. Obviously, we know there's a madness going on at Chelsea.
Playing wing back and that.
Yeah, he definitely didn't join at the right time, and I think Rash called it in the summer. He said, "Don't go Chelsea," but he did. You know, he came back to London. It might still change because he's still 27. He's got time to see how at Chelsea, but it's not been a good start, that's for sure. But he got his goal today. Good performance. So yeah, big up Raheem. And I think that's it for the player ratings. I think the subs didn't really get much time. I know Rashford and Grealish got the goals, but I don't think overall in terms of ratings, I think they'll probably get stand 6s.
Game was done. Game was done, isn't it? So
it was well and truly. So yeah, I think before we just jump off, did anyone actually get a chance to see the Senegal Netherlands game? Because I saw parts of it, and
that was it.
Senegal won if they had money. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I saw like little. I was in and out, so I'm just gonna say this: it's the worst Netherlands team I've seen in years. Like, they're bad. They're bad, man.
They were bad. I think if England finished top of the group, they'll probably play Senegal, but Senegal and Netherlands, I think England would have beaten them.
Yeah, with ease too, because like Netherlands, I don't know, like, I don't. Apart from like the De Jongs, like I don't really see where Netherlands are good. I'll just say that. Like, they really aren't a good team.
I think their best part is their back line, probably with Van Dijk, Ake, and De Ligt. I think that's probably their best bit. But
probably
out of De Jong, I mean, yeah, their forward line. They started that Clarendon that flopped first.
Davy Klaassen, yeah.
I didn't know he still played football. I mean, how old is he?
That's a good question. He might be like 30. I don't think he's that old. Let me check.
Say no more, but he was bad. He was bad from what I saw. But yeah, man. But yeah, what games are any exciting games on tomorrow? I think the day I've earmarked is Thursday. I think Portugal and Brazil both play Thursday. But anything tomorrow? Oh, Argentina, 10 a.m. kick.
10 a.m. Yep.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. kick. That could be bans.
That might be. You know, I always say like Saka scored 2. You might see Messi score 4.
Yeah. No, legit.
Have fun. And then there's France-Australia is another one at 7 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah. Decent little game. Obviously, Benzi out of the World Cup now, innit? So.
Oh my God, yeah. I'm gonna say this. I don't think France are gonna do that well. Like, you're missing 3 key players now, and they're not calling anybody else up. No. So I don't know. That probably speaks to how some of those French strikers have been playing. Because I'm not even gonna call up a replacement. That means you didn't earn it.
Yeah, it's interesting as well because that's asking a lot of Giroud at his age to play every game.
Yeah, but Giroud is Giroud, man. Like, you know what? Like, Giroud's not gonna be like
running around
Gabriel Jesus. Like, it's just when the ball's in his vicinity, he's gonna win headers. He's gonna hold it up. He's gonna flick it on, and then you're gonna rely on the guys on the wing to do the damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Who's the France have got? Because they've got Griezmann, they've got Mbappe.
Dembele.
They got Dembele as well. Now that could be those 3 up top could
Coleman.
be crazy.
Coleman's there.
Yeah.
I
mean, and you got Giroud as well. I mean, do you need more than? Do you need more?
When they proved last World Cup, last World Cup? Sorry, that they don't really like. Benzema was a nice to have. Like,
but was that even a necessity?
No, like probably not. Like, Giroud didn't score and was key to them winning the World Cup. So like, Benzema was just more for him. Like, he probably needs a World Cup.
Yeah, and really, what are you gonna do? Call up Lacazette?
Yeah, I'd rather not. Might as well call me up.
Give him a break, man. He doesn't need no more media coverage. England's killed him already, man.
He'd be tired in 12 minutes anyway.
What's his altitude? What's his temperature about? I'm tired.
Give me a beer.
I'm going to bed.
Martial might have got caught up.
You don't deserve no call up.
You just got But he hasn't played in a year, man. There's no way.
Play like 2 games. Sit your ass at home, man, and get some form together.
Look what in those 2 games. Yeah.
Fuck, he would have got injured anyway.
Sorry, say that again.
He would have just got injured anyway.
Oh yeah, probably. He gets injured standing up, man. Does a Dougie in the club and he's out for 6 months. Forget it.
He would have leaned to the wrong direction when he's bopping. Oops, cracked his ankle. Finished.
See, man, it's FIFA fun what they doing, but let's see. But yeah, man, listen, people, it's been a good show talking about the England game. We should be back on probably later this week as the group stage keeps on rolling on and everyone plays their first game. We'll probably be back later this week. But as always, look out for us on TikTok for more content, Instagram too. Obviously, Rash himself is on TikTok now. So when you go and follow TikTok,
not doing TikToks, but I'm
singing Glorilla songs.
I'm going to see you this.
Got 99 problems, but the biggest one is me.
And I look as confused as the people doing them as well. Yeah, look out for me.
Follow us on TikTok, man. Follow us on TikTok.
Follow us on TikTok. You know how it is. Ricky Rashid the Dream. You'll see a lot of the updates for Real Ball Talk. Make sure you follow me.
100%. But yeah, people, smash a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel, as we said. And yeah, big up everyone as always, and have a good evening. We're out. Peace and love. Peace.
Peace.